What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to LTQ Wrestling Podcast. We had some releases during the show tonight. A lot of talent released. We also had Solo Sikoa make his return, attacks Cody Rhodes after the main event. I'm sure a lot of fans are going to love having a Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa feud if that's the direction they're going, which it looks like there is. I'm not the biggest fan. We'll see how it goes. But let's get into the promo that led up to the main event. So Jey Uso comes out there. The crowd was lit as always. They're even more lit tonight. I mean, they used it twice. Jay had to do an encore. He's out of breath by the time he gets in the ring. He's talking about, how he has to choose Gunther, Cody. And he says, let me call out my friend Cody. Cody comes out there and he says he's proud of Jay for winning the Royal Rumble, talks their journey, how they're, had some crazy moments together. And pretty much they started the Yeet during that press conference. And Cody's pretty much saying, listen, where we're at tonight, we can party. We can do it one more time. And he says, but if you choose me to face at WrestleMania, it will be the last time. And Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa interrupt. Jacob Fatu's talking about how the bloodline needs a championship back and it shouldn't be Jay being the one to do it. And they get into a brawl. And they all are fighting. And Jacob Fatu's starting to beat up Cody. And Jay comes back in the ring, super kicks him, and they clothesline him over the top rope. And that sets up the main event of Fatu and Tonga Loa against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. We had Bianca Belair against Piper Niven, Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Good back and forth match. Bianca Belair is impressive as always. Good match from Piper Niven as well. She's a very good wrestler. Good to see her get a lot more TV time than she used to. Bianca Belair hit the KOD on her again. It's still incredible how she's able to hit that. And Bianca Belair advances to the Elimination Chamber women's match. So good for her. DIY had a segment which wasn't really all that great, if I'm being honest. I like DIY, but man, this segment was brutal to watch. The crowd was really into it. They're telling the crowd, to everybody to get up and I guess have like a moment of silence for the Motor City Machine Guns. Half the crowd didn't even get up during it. And they're trying their hardest, and then Pretty Deadly interrupts. And Pretty Deadly's talking about how they've helped them retain a few times. They helped them retain the NXT titles. That was definitely a botch on their part. And then Nick Aldis sets up DIY against Pretty Deadly in a non-title match. Pretty Deadly wins with a roll-up, so it looks like they're going to be getting a title opportunity finally. So we'll be getting DIY against Pretty Deadly for the tag team titles real soon. So Drew McIntyre does a promo. He's officially on Team Blue, Team SmackDown for Drew McIntyre, and he's talking all his smack, and he's ready to get started on SmackDown. He said he's back on the Blue brand, and he wants to win the championship back he got screwed out of, and that's going after Cody Rhodes. And Jimmy Uso comes out, and Jimmy's talking about how Drew's always crying. He sounds like an ex-girlfriend. He didn't get screwed. He lost fair and square. And they're going back and forth. And Drew says, oh, sorry, Jay. Oh, I mean, Jimmy. And he says, I can't really tell you guys apart anymore, but I know you wish you were in your brother's shoes and all this. And he said, maybe if you want to said yeet first, you would have been in the position Jay's in. And Jimmy's talking about how he's got to push all his chips in the middle. He's got to win this triple threat with Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. He's got to get his opportunity at WrestleMania, just like Jay's getting his. And all that. And LA Knight comes out, and him and Drew, man, they went at it. And LA Knight says he has no love for Jimmy. If it wasn't for Jimmy and the bloodline, he'd be WWE champion right now. He lost to Roman Reigns because of them. He says all Drew McIntyre does is cry. Drew McIntyre, he said someone in the crowd was yelling. And he references the heat they had. He says, sorry, I'm just getting my stuff in. LA Knight, yeah. So that was a good line right there from LA Knight, considering the heat him and Drew had. And they have a triple threat match. Winner gets the Elimination Chamber. Good match. I mean, the crowd was chanting, this is awesome during it. All these guys, I mean, I know LA Knight gets criticism for his work. I don't think he's that bad a worker. Is he a Drew McIntyre worker? No. But all three of these guys worked their asses off. They had a good match. Drew ends up getting the win after LA Knight's going for his finisher. Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore with the back of the head, so Jimmy gets hit with LA Knight's finisher. And then LA Knight gets hit with the Claymore, and then Drew pins him 1, 2, 3. So Drew is heading the Elimination Chamber match. And it's going to be a star-studded match. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and John Cena so far have qualified for it. So can't wait to see how that match turns out. We had KO doing a little promo about Sami. He called him a horrible friend. He's never going to forgive him for all the things he's done. And I said this on the Raw review or the Raw short clip I did. It looks like they're going Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for WrestleMania, which I do not mind. It makes a lot of sense. KO package pile drived him. KO even mentioned before all this that if he saw Sami Zayn, he was going to get to him too, and he definitely has. So makes a lot of sense there. We had Carmelo Hayes against Tozawa, and These two went at it for a little bit. Pretty good match, back and forth. Tozawa's a great worker. I know he's kind of a joke on the main roster, but he is a good worker. He's in 205 Live for many years, putting on good matches. But I was a little worried. I can't lie. With the way Carmelo Hayes has been booked with taking loss after loss after loss, like the Floyd Mayweather meme where he just keeps throwing L's at him. I always see that reference with Carmelo Hayes and Finn Balor because both of them lose almost every match. I thought for a minute, Triple H, are you really going to have Carmelo Hayes lose to Akira Tozawa? He didn't, thank goodness. It's his first win, I think, since like August or September of 2024. So it's been about like 5 months since Carmelo Hayes even won a match, singles match, I should say. So he gets the win here. Good for Melo. Hopefully this is the start of something for him because his main roster run, for me at least, has been very disappointing so far. And hopefully WWE starts trying to do something with him. So Charlotte comes out. She's doing a promo. I'm going to be honest. I don't care about Charlotte. I'm not even like a hater. I just don't care about her. Like she's in that territory of Roman Reigns was a few years ago for me where everything she's in, I just kind of roll my eyes and don't care because she's always in the title scene. I just am tired of Charlotte. And she just came back from like a year absence and I'm already tired of her because it's like she never left in a bad way. And she says, so what's it going to be tonight, Tennessee? Are you going to love me or hate me? And you hear mixed reactions. And she says she lives in the fans' heads rent-free because she's the greatest of all time. And she has to make her decision. She met with Rhea Ripley. She met with Julia in NXT. Now it's time for her face-to-face with Tiffany Stratton. They have a back and forth. And Charlotte says, you pretty much remind me of a child. You're a child that wants me to make you a star at WrestleMania. And this match, listen, as much as I don't like Charlotte right now, this match has money written all over it. Tiffany Stratton against Charlotte's never happened before, everything like that. So we'll have to see if that's what they end up doing. I'm curious if they're going to have her face Rhea or Tiffany Stratton because, both those matches could make some sense. So we'll have to see. Her and Rhea are 1-on-1 against each other. So we'll just have to see. And then Nia Jax comes out with Candice LeRae in the match with Alexa Bliss next. By the way, I'm a little sick if you guys wonder why I sound like really horrible. That's why. So Nia Jax comes out and she says, Tiffany has my title. I'm going to get the title back. And Charlotte, if you're going to get a match at WrestleMania, it's going to be against me. And then they set up Bliss against Candice LeRae. That match goes on. Bliss obviously gets the win. So she's in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Looked great in her return. Got to love Alexa Bliss. And then the main event. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes against Tonga Loa and Jacob Fatu. Went back and forth, went about 15 minutes. Both teams doing impressive stuff. Tonga Loa did his yee thing. The fans were into that. And Jey ends up getting the win. And, that's not really too much to talk about the match itself. It was a good match, but just a typical WWE main event. And then we had Cody and Jey getting their hands held up by the arms held up by the referee. And you see Solo pop up. We haven't seen Solo in a minute. I was wondering if they just forgot about Solo, really, because Jacob Fatu became such a big star that maybe WWE's thinking, okay, this is what we wanted you to be. We're just going to put you to the side and make Jacob Fatu our main attraction right now. But he's back Solo. He attacks Cody. We'll have to see where that goes. Because last time we saw Solo, he walked down on the bloodline. He just looked like he was defeated. He lost to Roman Reigns in the tribal combat match with the tribal chief and, the Ula Fala and everything. And we didn't see him for about a month, and now he's back. Is he going after the championship? Is him and Jacob Fatu still going to be on the same page? Is there going to be some tension there? There's a lot of different directions they can go. Personally, I'm tired of seeing Cody and Solo. We just saw it, 5-6 months ago, if that. There's got to be some other opponents for Cody in that locker room. Seriously. Solo again. Come on. I really hope that's not the direction they choose to go. I really hope it's not, but we'll just have to see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's SmackDown. Make sure to like and subscribe for more wrestling content on the LTQ Wrestling Podcast channel. Peace.